Hi, Tea Society. Welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out Bleach 1000 Year Blood War episode 39. And coming off of the last episode, we're going into the last couple, and I just feel like it's really gonna throw me for a loop. I know that we're gonna be getting more stuff. I know that it isn't always the biggest moment at the end of these parts because it's more about building up a bunch of things. But like clearly we're gonna be ending on something that's gonna make me go, what now? What are we doing? I'm a little bit on edge, gonna be honest. But I do like that in the last episode, since we were focusing in on a couple of the Quincy's that we've known about for the last little bit and digging more into their backstory and the different dynamics and stuff, I really like that we're adding in some complexities to the group of Quincy's, not just the ones that kind of defected after a bunch of their power was taken and left for dead, right? Getting to see them sort of switching sides a little bit, at least being not on the side of the Quincy's anymore, not necessarily on Soul Society's side as a default for that, but seeing their dynamic shift as they're going against the Quincy's, but also digging more into how people decide to join the Quincy's, what kind of motivates them to be involved, what the dynamics are between Quincy's, because we see the dynamic of Soul Reapers versus Quincy's as opposed to what are the internal conflicts and dynamics within the Quincy group themselves, because we've seen with Soul Reapers and Soul Society that it's not black or white. It's not like every Soul Reaper gets along with everyone else. It's not as if there aren't internal conflicts there. I like that we're adding in more and more of those layers and those complexities as we go through this episode. Given the title, I have no idea what this is going to be about. The Visible Answer, I don't know. I don't think I know what that means, so I'm just jumping in blind and hoping for the best. In 3, 2, 1, go. Is that Ukitake? Please don't break my heart. I've already said I'm in denial. Like, until I see a funeral. I'm not gonna believe anything. But also, like, that seems ominous. Like, that's a very muted color palette, and I know that we're on a time limit because of this. So, and like the music cue, like it's a very somber introduction to the episode. And like the stark coloring and contrast. Like I was just saying, like the muted coloring with like Ikitake, and then once we get to Yuba, this very like stark, like simplified color palette, but like there's an intensity to it. I do like, I know that I say it pretty much like every season, like every part that we get, but I do love the coloring choices so much in this. Like one of my favorite things about the Fullbring arc was that they really started to play with like color and light, and I thought it was such an interesting dynamic, almost like noir inspired at certain points in the way that they were using it, and I just thought it added such an interesting visual to that arc and those seasons, that getting to see that kind of turned up and polished in these seasons is so interesting, and I love it. And I feel like at some point rewatching or something, I'm gonna be like, figure out the full analysis of all my thoughts on that. I don't really have time like going through it in real time, but there are so many things that I'm like, I'm gonna have to, I always say that I'm gonna rewatch and then time gets away from me and I don't end up doing it. I'm sorry. Also, if I sound like I'm out of breath during this, it's just my lungs being dumb. I'm fine. Ooh, okay, that was probably not good. Hello, Thor. I know you have a different name, but you can't tell me that that's not Thor inspired. I mean, you can, but I will not believe you a single bit. Hello, traitor. I guess you can call him that name too. Oh, are we just like... Are we just joining again? After... I'm killing our friend? I would think probably. Oh, yeah, we do. I was gonna say there's something with his eyes. I don't know. I want to believe that he's not. I want to believe that Uryu is fine. But it was quite a reaction when he's just like, whoop, okay, I see what I'm dealing with. So I feel like he probably has something to hide. And I'm also in denial that I'm like, I want him to have a really good reason for acting the way that he does. It's gonna have to be really good. God of Thunder. That's what it was. Ooh, that piece of rubble fell really close to Byakuya. You can't be playing those games. Apparently people get bad when you try to kill them off. I love how unfazed Nana was there. Just like, wow. The most unimpressed group right now. Like, this Quincy is such a, like, theatrical person. And then you've got, like, the most unimpressed group of Soul Reapers right now. Ooh. I mean, Denji is more theatrical. Of course he is, my boy! I'm so happy to see him. Look who we got help from. Just call him a red baboon. I mean, not entirely inaccurate. Almost too cleanly. See, this is what I'm talking about. There are moments where I'm like, Uryu could go for the killing shot and he doesn't, even though I'm still mad about this. Yeah. Redemption? Give my boy a win. He needs one so bad. Adenji has become like the punching bag of like, we need to show people that this adversary is really powerful. So we're gonna have him beat up Adenji and then someone else will actually win later. And I need that to end. I mean, I feel like there are multiple happening at the same time. It's more of a simultaneous thing. The interesting about battles is there's no end to it. Interesting observation. Interesting. I guess that's why he kind of saw himself as like being very close to Yuba, as like being the first. Oh. I mean, it makes sense for the one because it's like related to Soul King. Okay, so that's the level that we're at though, right? Like a piece of the Soul King. And then we have I should remember that his name is uh Gerald. I'm not gonna be able to say it correctly. There were too many R's in there. I know there's only two, but they're very close to each other. My brain's just like, nah. I know that you're not. No! I can't do this. I already had a moment with Adenji. You cannot do this with Seto too, okay? Thank you. Or a girl. I will fight you myself. I know you're a cartoon. I cannot do that, but I will find a way. Oh. What a Hime, though. I mean, effective. Ew. I think you might be a little, you should be like a little bit upset about being compared to Bambi of all people. Ooh, cool shot. I mean, look, maybe we have an argument with this, but like, best girl, maybe. Maybe. Would you like to put that to the test? That's what that look is. I'm like, let's find out. Oh, dang! I didn't know. I know we were showing up like that. Okay. That is an elaborate bow you got there, sir. Ooh, we caught one. Dang! Oh, okay. I didn't know we were showing up like that. Dang! The music cue and everything? Woo-wee. Okay, fine. I was expecting more. Or are we just like gauging the power level? Are we just playing? I mean, I noticed the miracle before and I was like, oh, that's religious imagery again. I don't know. They tend to spout off religious jargon in the middle of us fighting. It's a soliloquy before things start to turn against our favor. So you like the danger aspect. Okay, then. He's just like, done. I feel like that's not going to be finishing him off. That is the correct reaction, yes. Did we like... Because like we went for a headshot. Yeah. He's scared dude, and we've like upped the power set there from previously. Um why are things shaking? Ooh, good save. I feel like it's not gonna be that simple. Oh. I guess shaking because we're losing the power that's kind of keeping everything steady, isn't it? So unbothered. Yes, where is your father? And is he also like, hmm? Because I feel like he knows what's going on. Oh. Oh, that does not seem like a good thing. Especially not if he's smiling slightly. Valkyrie, that's the association. Which is like Norse. You know? Not quite Thor, but there's been some destruction up here, dang. Yeah, he's stubborn like that. You better not. Because we're not gonna make it. Are we teaming up? I saw you in the little in-between card that I thought like maybe you were gonna be part of this, but I didn't know if it was just like because we're dealing with relations. Oh, that is definitely not the kind of face you want an anime to be pointed towards you. Oh, poor innocent child. Not the time or place. Ooh. I know we're going to hand-to-hand combat. I feel like also an appropriate reaction to that particular barrage of attacks. I mean, blunt, but if it gets the job done. I feel unfazed. They're just like not even looking back. They're like not even wondering what's going on. Ooh. Is this Valkyrie in question? Um, I would like to know that Arikia is okay because that foot seemed very close to where she was. Okay, good. I'm like, head count. Okay. We got a little like crown thing going on too. Oh. Okay, I was gonna say earlier, I'm like, he seems like the kind of person who's like might have a power set where it's okay if he gets hit. Thank you for watching out for her, but also be safe. Momo better get a cool moment too. I love the way that she's just like has the most deadpan delivery in so many things, unless he's like in full goof mode. Good choice going for the mouth shot. but like it doesn't seem like it's helping so much. But it was a good idea. That's a little worrisome. We could block that with our bare hands. Ooh. Yeah, maybe don't yell when you might draw attention. Wasn't expecting that trick, but okay. I mean, this might seem like a good time to have a miracle happen for our side, though. See the glass half full? Well, I don't need you to call me out immediately after I have my little cheeky comment. Thank you. Yes. You're looking a little rough there, bud. Uh-oh. I feel like we need a little bit of strategy. I said before, blunt but effective, but if it's not going to be effective, I feel like we need more of a plan. Ah! I don't know, but there's a visible barrier between us and the way those shadows lined up. I seem a little bit crazed there. For someone who was like, I don't want to fight in the previous episode. I understand that's partly because of the, like, dynamic there. Oh, okay. Hi. Is that how we're proving it? I mean, last time we saw each other, you, did shoot an arrow that left a sizable hole in his torso. I know it was kind of like the whole setup of this part, though. Like, there was a ton of imagery of, like, even just, like, the ender rate of Ichigo and Uryu and, like, being at odds, but also meeting up, right? Like, the fracture, but also them kind of being on the same level. Like, so I had the inkling that we were going to end with something between those two in particular, but I don't know if I'm, like, emotionally ready. You know? I just feel like I've been through a lot already. I'm just bracing, you know? I'm just like, I don't know what the end of this is gonna be, if I'm gonna get more stuff or if it's just gonna be like the poem or whatever, but like, I need something. Okay, we're actually getting story. I was like, wasn't that... I was just asking about you. Oh? Are we actually taking an active part in what's going on? Didn't we have Uryu going to like a grave or something all the way back when he was like, I found like the secrets, or like he found the book in the office? Oh, I feel so many things. It's crazy to me that I was like in this episode being like, hey, Ishin, what's he up to? And I've been saying since like early episodes, right? Where we're dealing with all this stuff with Uryu. I'm like, where's your father? Because he found the book. He found something that made him shift and go inside with the Quincy's. And again, I'm assuming there was some kind of great answer for that. I'm assuming that there is something going on there that at least in part justifies his actions, other than he is a Quincy and has a very strong attachment to what that means is like his identity and like how he represents himself in the world, and like specifically his belief system, right? Like we've always known that's an important part of how he views himself and how he interacts with the world. There's got to be more to that. And I was like, his dad is obviously involved. We found the book in his father's office and it shifted things. So I'm like, there has to be something. And also like, why is he not getting involved? Besides the point of him being like not associated with Quincy's and not really wanting to be part of that. He is a father, at least, adjacent. So I'm like, you have to be involved in some way, right? And Ishin, we all know, is legitimately a good dad, which is crazy for a protagonist to not only have a parent alive, but to have them actually be good at being a parent. Wild. I was wondering when they were going to officially get involved in what's going on, and I think that's very interesting. Well, one, we have like the rain, and rain symbolism in Bleach always means some things. We're already in front of a grave. We're dealing with some stuff there, but now I'm like, we're going to properly get involved now. We're gonna finally have that moment, like one of the few episodes seeing Uryu where I'm not like, where's your father? I'm excited. I feel like probably that's going to be maybe the thing that we end off on going into the next part, right? Me talking about what is the end of this part going to be. It might have something to do with those two getting involved and possibly some kind of showdown between Ichigo and Uryu that isn't over pretty quickly, because Ichigo was like definitely not trying to be in a fight. He was like, I want to talk. I want to figure out what's going on. I want us to actually have a conversation because we haven't done that yet. So I don't know what's going to happen. Uryu is starting to see some of the cracks in his facade. I think that he was very stone cold earlier on, and now we're seeing a lot more emotion from him and a lot more screen time from him, even just certain facial expressions of him not being quite able to school himself properly, and even him seeing Ichigo again. You can see that there's this kind of tiredness or this like resistance to having this interaction, but also this feeling of, I have to do this. I just have to keep going with whatever it is that he's doing, and I just hope that there's some kind of actual plan there. I don't know. Is that coherent in any way? I don't know. I love that we got to see some more Yoroichi and her actually fighting, because I feel like we don't get enough of that, and it's so cool. I need a win for Arenti. I need him to actually be able to do something cool. And I want to see fully Byakuya's new power set. Now that he's gone through all the training and whatever, I want to see an actual moment of him being like, let me show you what I'm capable of, because we haven't quite seen that yet. So many things just at the end of that. But excited to maybe see the last episode, depending on how it makes me feel. And also I'll be sad because I'm gonna have to wait again for more episodes. But I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. You can click those plays to go into my post reactions, or you can subscribe so next time I post a Bleach reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.